What's up, everybody? Welcome back, and we're finally getting back to work on the Datsun truck. I have quite a few goals today for this video, but first thing in order, I got some new lights to put up in here because, as you can see, it's pretty dark. So I'm obviously not going to bother filming that. We're just going to kind of do something like this. So yeah, hopefully that was close enough to look right. I don't know, we don't really care. But, so there we go. I put 3 new lights up. I really just needed this one right here so that we can see inside our engine bay a little bit better. So, yep. So, alright. Objectives for this video. Here's what we got done last time. Both turbos are mounted. Everything needs to be final welded. Yeah, so first thing we're going to do is we're trying to cut back on the budget a little bit. So one of the ways I'm going to do that is by not buying a new intake manifold right now. I didn't really want... I want to get a new intake manifold. I don't want to use the plastic one, especially the truck one, because it's ugly. But I don't have the money to buy the one that I want, which obviously is a Fast 102. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the truck intake manifold for now, which means we're going to have to cut more of the firewall out. I didn't want to have to cut this pinch part right here, but the more I thought about it, it looks like the Fast 102s are pretty tall also. So we're just going to cut it out anyway. And then what we're going to do is basically, I think the truck intake manifold is about the biggest one that they make. So if we can fit that one in here, we should be able to fit just about every intake manifold one here that we want to use. So that's one of our objectives. Second objective is wastegates. We need to figure out where our wastegates are going to go. So I got one of 2. This is a 60 millimeter eBay crap fucking wastegate. This needs to go somewhere, I don't know, here maybe, something like that. Maybe like this, maybe like this. I don't know, something like that. Maybe like this. I don't know. So we need to figure out where our wastegates are going to go. These are V-bands, so there's a V-band clamp that goes on, but probably going to need to get some pipe to make that work. And what else do we got? Let's see here. We have oil lines. So I need to pull this motor out, take the oil pan off, and tap the oil pan for the oil drain lines. That's these fittings right here. And we got oil feed stuff to run from both drains into the oil pan. So we need to figure out how we're going to route that, get that set up. And I also have feed lines for these turbos too, and we need to figure out how we're going to route those. So that's the objectives for today. First thing we're going to do is start cutting the firewall out. Alright, so now we have a larger squarish hole in the firewall. So now, obviously, the choice becomes, how much more of this do I cut out? What's going to be the easiest for me to remake this firewall? And so on and so on. So right about here is where it's going to sit. Obviously I can't run my hood with this intake because, as you can see, it's quite a bit higher, but I'm not cutting a hole in my hood, so we're just going to be running no hood until I get my new intake manifold. So yeah, what do we do now to make this, to remake this firewall easily? I want to try to maintain this because there's a trim piece that goes over top of this, because the hood obviously doesn't come back this far. It stops like right here. So there's a trim piece here that I have that I want to put back on. I obviously don't need any of this cavity down here, so we could cut all that out if we wanted to. Also, there's a bunch of holes and stuff here that were for the brake booster and stuff like that that we don't really need anymore. There's also a bunch of holes over here that we don't really need anymore. We also don't really need these fenders at all. So the question becomes, do we just cut all this out and just make a whole new firewall? I mean, that's what I'm leaning towards. We pretty much have it all cut out now anyway. So I mean, it's not much more left to cut out. We can leave the spots where the hood attaches, or we could get rid of those too and just put 4 hood pins in. Yeah, I don't really know. I'm gonna ponder it, and I don't know. We'll decide in a second here. Alright, so I've been looking at it, and I think I came up with a solution. What we're gonna do, we're gonna cut the rest of this crap out. I'm just gonna leave this square around these hood latch openings. That way I can maintain my factory hood mounts. All of this is gonna go. All of this is gonna go. Same thing on this side. All this will go. The fender will go. We'll keep this square here. And then what we're gonna do is, as you can see, I cut this piece of metal is back farther, and it's actually right about where my firewall needs to be. So we're going to go ahead and utilize that. The hardest part is going to be measuring this part of it, but if you can see where I cut this right here. Firewall needs to be probably about 1 inch behind that, 1.5 inches behind that or so. So yeah, I think we're just going to go ahead and cut that straight across and then just run the firewall right up to it. And then it'll be pretty much easy. The only spots that'll really be out past that is a little piece of this fender, which we'll just cut all that out anyway and just remake. It's literally going to be like a tiny little piece. So, and that's also going to make my firewall pretty much a straight shot. So it'll just be one straight piece of metal. Well, not straight. We're going to put some bead rolls in it and stuff like that to give it some rigidity. But it's basically going to make my firewall one big flat piece of metal, and I won't have to do anything crazy. So, and like I said, we're going to do bead rolls in it so we can do like some cool patterns or something, or maybe some lightning bolts. I don't really know. And it'll clean up this whole engine bay just a whole lot better. So, yeah, basically we're gonna cut more out. So I still don't know what I'm gonna do with this front end as far as tube front end, or leaving this rail, or cutting it out and just doing tubes, or mounting this on top of tubes, or what. But I don't want to get rid of that yet, and I don't want to hurt that because I need it to line my fenders and stuff back up for right now anyway. So we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna cut this out here. We're gonna cut this corner, leave that corner. We're going to cut all this out. We're going to cut this out straight like that, and just have at it. So I'm just going to do some rough cuts right now and get some more stuff out of the way, and then I'll have a better idea. Like I said, the hardest part is going to be measuring, somehow marking that straight line that goes across the back there where I want my firewall to end. I don't really know how I'm going to do that. So we're going to have to figure that out, but that's probably going to be something we'll do when we pull the motor out too, because we're going to be pulling this motor out here soon. So yeah, let's cut some more stuff out. All right, look how clean that looks. It's so beautiful. There's nothing there. There's nothing left anymore. It's all good. I don't really care. I didn't want any of that weird shaped metal anyway. All right, it's done. Decision's done. So now you can get a better idea of what I'm talking about here. So we got this line back here. This hole was already here. Obviously, we're going to have to do something with that. But we got that line back there. And what we're going to need to do is we need to find a way to mark that line straight all the way across. And cut it. Cut it straight. And I think maybe we're gonna leave like a half of an inch, and then maybe bend it over so that we have something to attach our firewall to at the top at least. I think that's gonna be pretty good. And then obviously out here we'll have to do something with like right here. So our firewall will be back here now, so maybe we'll just kind of box this stuff in. Or actually the firewall is probably going to go all the way to the top here. So we'll probably end up blocking these in. And yeah, blocking those in, and then we'll put like a piece right here to block this in. And the bottom of this is already boxed. We just need to re-tack that together. And yeah. I think that's going to work. So, yeah. Good decision, bad decision. I don't know. But that's what I'm going with. So, sweet. All that's done. I think this is going to make my life a lot easier. I have a game plan now for the firewall, which is more than I've ever thought about up to this point. So I don't know what the rules are. Maybe if one of you guys that watches that has drag cars can clarify this for me. But as far as I can see in the NHR rulebook, obviously you need to have you got to have a firewall. You have to have something that separates your motor from your driver, which is fine. If anything up there explodes, I don't want it coming through into where I'm sitting. So that's fine. They also require you to have a housing around, a barrier around your bell housing on your transmission in case your clutch or torque converter explodes, which is very possible. But I see guys run with no floor pans and none of this crap like all the time. So I don't know if it's just a different sanctioning body, different rules, or what. But I don't want to see any of this. If any of this takes a crap, especially since it is a budget build, I'm not using the highest quality parts, I don't have a built motor, blah, 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 blah. If any of this fails, I don't want it to reach me. So plan on putting some sheet metal between myself and all of this drivetrain. So yeah, I think this is going to make it really easy for me to put the new firewall in. The hardest part, like I said, is just going to be measuring this line, because as you can see, it's not a straight thing. But I have an idea. I'm going to get some poster board or some thick cardboard to make a template for the firewall out of. I think that if I make a template for this top half and then tape it to my straight edge, I think that will get us pretty good. So, yeah, it's coming along. I don't know how long this video is now. This might be the end of it, it might not, I don't know. But, like, share, comment, subscribe. Is there any more metal I can possibly cut out of this thing? Thanks for watching. Whoa, little post-credit Marvel action here. I started making templates for the firewalls. I boxed off both sides. I made this whole template here. It's obviously just poster board strapped together. There it is from the inside. Hopefully we'll have a firewall soon. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time.